Hey, welcome back to my channel. It is Christian here, and you're tuned in for part 2 of the Single, Saved, and Satisfied video. This one is going to be a little bit quicker because there's some truths or myths, if you will, that I would like to bust up for you. We're going to get right into it, but first, let's not forget the 3 points that matter most before we even start talking. Number 1, you're not alone. Number 2, you're not crazy. Number 3, God, your creator, still loves you. All right, so let's talk. When you're in church and you're saved and you're single and you're struggling, saved, single, satisfied. Saved, single, it's giving struggle more than satisfaction. I told you guys in the first part that my mom has lived a committed, focused, dedicated life to her children in the Lord. We're now all grown, so it's just the Lord that's her man. And her and my father got divorced when I was 2 years old. So I've never known a man to be in our home, be around. I ain't never had no Uncle Bobby, no Uncle Johnny, no Uncle Willie, no Uncle nothing, because she just has never entertained anyone. And while that may be her testimony, it's not everyone's. And I'm not saying that everyone should live that life at all. It's based on you, what you want, your desires, and not even your salvation level. It's just what you as an individual wants, and you not feeling bad about that. You don't have to feel bad about wanting to be with somebody. It's not wrong. It's just not. And so we're going to get into some of these truths. The first one is God created our bodies for pleasure. Whew, that's something you don't hear often. I mean, that's something you never hear. Okay? And if you do, rarely on the occasion, they're going to tell you that the pleasure that the Lord created for you is to be between husband and wife. So you shouldn't be experiencing pleasure on your own, by your own. You know what I'm saying? From a video and a phone. No. You shouldn't. You shouldn't be out here doing your thing. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be doing none of that. Okay? You shouldn't be DJing, right? And you shouldn't be shaking up the drinks. All right? You shouldn't be DJing. You shouldn't be shaking up the drinks. You shouldn't. So, knowing that, it causes a lot of people in church to suppress their desires. Because what would the church think? What will my members think if they knew? I know someone, a musician, who actually got caught a couple of years ago, long time ago. And I say got caught, but he did, because he got in trouble. I think the police rolled up on him in an alley. A musician of a church, y'all. He got caught with a woman of the night who gets paid for her services. This joker is back on the keyboard. But guess what? I'm not saying that he couldn't have gotten a girlfriend like no other way and been with her for free. I'm just saying that when there are desires that you have and you have to suppress them to keep an image in church, you tend to do things. You tend to do the things. All of the things, honey, that may not exactly be pleasing to God or your pastor and your leadership in your church, and may cause you to bring reproach on the ministry. God created our bodies for pleasure. Yep. So you can't be out here trying to fight that force with just, nah, I ain't gonna do that. You have to teach people and give people the resources, and people have the desire to not want to actually feel those pleasures. I don't even know how to tell you to mask those desires and kill those pleasures and, crucify your flesh daily. I don't even know what that stuff means. And in church, you're not even given the resources or the ways to do that logically, because I don't even think there's a logical way to do it other than you just having self-control. But I don't feel like it should be sexual suppression to the point where you start doing things that would be a little bit more sketchy, or taking bigger risks, or being involved in situations and environments that may subject you to or expose you to things that could cause you long-term effects or problems, or exposure to things that everybody's going to know what you've been up to. It's the suppression for me that causes people to do things in private because they don't want their sins to be public. But at the same time, you still have those desires. So how do you deal with that? What is the solution for that? But when you're single and you save, how do you get to the satisfied part? I'm only satisfied with the Lord. The Lord pleases me. Stop it. We don't like that sentence. Don't say it again. Okay. Next, having sexual desires are not sinful. They're not. That's truth. Now, the myth would be, again, like I just said, to crucify your flesh and to not, give in to the lust of the flesh. Don't look at things that would cause you to want these things. You cannot do anything about your desires that come naturally, that are human reactions or responses to seeing someone who is attractive, or your mind going there concerning that person. You can learn to, you can do things, I guess, that would make you not feel like that about someone that's attractive to you. I'm not saying you have to think about them in a completely sexual manner, but you see someone who's attractive, your mind may go some places, and that's natural. So having sexual desires are not sinful. You're not going to hell for wanting to be intimate, right? For having those thoughts. And when you find people who are constantly trying to, beat that out of you, deliver you from it, remove that from you, it's like, wow, so you want to remove my ability to blink, but I still have eyelids. Stop it. It's going to happen. It's what you do and how you respond to those desires that actually matter, based off of what you actually want to do, which again is something that your pastor, your leader, your church members cannot force you into or out of. But that's up to you how much power you give or how much influence and impact someone's words have over what you choose to do with your life. And if you want to live in bondage to your own sexual desires and suppress them because you're saved and you're single and you don't want to act on them, that's your business. That's your right to choose. All day, every day. Moving on. Sex before marriage doesn't send you to hell. Is that a myth or is that true? I technically believe that that's true because our Creator knows that we are meant to experience pleasure and to enjoy the things between whoever we feel we love. I don't feel like sex before marriage sends you to sin. I believe sex before marriage can send you to the clinic. But it's your conscious decision more than anything else. What are your values? What are your beliefs on it? If you believe it'll send you to sin, honey, don't do it, right? That's your business. But if you don't believe that, you may still decide to engage in it, but just do it with people you actually want to be with, or you see a future with, or you actually have that connection with. I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. I'm here to tell you that it's your choice. Moving on. Next, celibacy isn't a solution to resist or suppress desires and urges. Or the myth here would be celibacy cures all of your sexual desires and will keep you from falling into temptation. That is not true. It's not true. Celibacy will not keep you from having desires or falling into temptation. Some people probably have had to reset the celibacy clock repeatedly. And it's okay because you're human and your sexual desires cannot and will not go away. Again, you would have to pluck your eyes out in order to never be tempted or to see anything that you're interested in again. Again, you will have the desires, but that doesn't mean that you will have to take the actions that some people might following those desires. It's all up to you, whatever you choose. If you choose celibacy, it's not a solution to suppress or to resist desires. It's a process. It's a plan. It's what you choose before you get married or before you're in a committed relationship, but it's not something that's going to be the end all be all for what your internal person will want. And that's just, what it is. And then finding someone who also is on that same journey as you once you're ready for a relationship might be difficult if you don't know how to have the upfront conversations about why you're on that journey, what that means to you, and you hope that they can respect that and go on that journey with you so that you all can have a bond, a stronger connection. You can be the only one with them or them be the only one with you. Whatever the case may be, you have to be clear, concise, and direct on why you're choosing that path. And it can't always just be because of God. It has to be something else. Like maybe you don't want that connection with a lot of people. Maybe it makes you feel bad after you've done it with other people before, you've engaged in sexual relations, and you just don't want to give yourself to other people like that. You don't want to be vulnerable and susceptible to being connected to people that you just can't emotionally detach from, or it makes you go overboard or crazy. Child. Some people out here delivering thy rod and staff and blessing. And so, the last point. Oh my God. Living life for an audience of one. At the end of it all, you are living for you. Nobody knows your relationships. Nobody knows your sexual status, when the last time you were with someone, or what that looks like for you on a regular basis. I've known of people who literally, oh my goodness. So, okay. I know people who have hidden their sexual encounters, and they're church people. And I know these things because I have a close individual who's worked in a hotel. And back home, and this person that's close to me, I will not disclose how close this person is to me, but this person has seen several church people coming and going from the hotel. Very shocked that this person worked at the front desk. And I'm talking the 11 p.m. to the 7 a.m. shift. Coming and going the same night, not the next morning. Coming and going from the hotel room with the opposite sex in tow. These are people that you know from church, and you're watching them check into their room or return to a room they checked in earlier before your shift, and walking past you shocked as ever, right? Because they weren't expecting to see you. Now, one of these people actually, I think they changed their plans when they saw such and such at the front desk, and was like, they tried to have a conversation with the person like it was normal. Good and well, wait a minute. You have a wife. Why are you here? Now, this person didn't say that to them, but they knew that the person at the front desk knew their whole life, because I know you. This is what I'm talking about, the suppression of it all. Some people have wives, some people were single, but were still in and out of the hotel with another individual because their desires, but they live this life of perfection in church, but in the background, they have real things going on that they want to encounter and do. And it's the bondage of it all to say you're supposed to be able to push that down, push it away from you, and never give in to that. That's not realistic. It's just not. So we have to have these discussions about who you're living for. You're living for you. So you're an audience of one. And whoever you decide to engage with and interact with in a sexual manner or not, for that matter, that's your business. And it's your feelings. It's your conscience that you have to live with. And be you saved or not saved, you just may not want to do that or go there with certain people. And it's okay. It doesn't always have to be a spiritual conviction. It can just be a, this ain't me. I don't know nothing about that lifestyle or whatever y'all got going on, because that's not me. It just may not be you. You just may not be made to be out here hopping and dropping it, tipping and dipping with the people. And that's okay. But it's safe to know that you can be single and satisfied. Even if you take the saved out of it, you can be single and satisfied. It's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to have limits. It's okay to have expectations and see yourself as a prize and a jewel and a gem. And I'm talking about the men too, because people don't give enough credit to men who also don't want to be out here dropping it low and spreading the wide for whosoever will. Kudos to you, because that's what you want to do. I'm not going to even say exercise of self-control, because it makes it seem like having sex is out of control. It's not. You're exercising what you want to do. And if you choose to be celibate or hold off until you're in a very serious committed relationship for over 9 months, 12 months, 13 months, 22 months, whatever, that's your business, that's your prerogative, that's your choice. And you can build upon that foundation however you like. But we have to give people that freedom, that autonomy to choose. But with the myths that are in the church and the pressure and the limits, everything I need always comes to me, and I gratefully receive it. When the affirmations come through, you got to say them. All right. So yes, it's about that time that we have the conversation about people in church who are beat down and made to feel like the Lord ain't gonna send nobody if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do in that moment when he send them by you. And that's, to me, not how I don't feel like that's what it is. I don't feel it's like that. And people trying to keep you from truly living the life or doing the things that you desire to do as an adult, it's kind of like sneaking with parents. You're going to hide it because you don't want them to be upset. You don't want the judgment. And that doesn't help anything. That doesn't help anything. A sneaky person don't end up with nothing. but dirty fingers. I don't know what that means. Okay, I just said it. So anyway, I guess you know with dirty fingers, because if you sneaky, like you always doing stuff with your fingers dirty, hide your hands. Just hide your hands, okay? The saying made sense before I said it. Now that I said it, if I cared enough to edit it, I'll roll it back. But I don't care, so it's not getting edited out. There's y'all quote for the day. But that's my take on the truths and the myths of church and the saved, single, and satisfied side of things. You can wait until you're married. You can choose to be a born-again virgin and try it all over again, refresh the page, whatever you want. It may work for you. It may not. And you may find yourself just only engaging with people who share the same beliefs or hiding it more than you are actually public about it. Either way, you're living for an audience of one. Nobody has to know what you're doing. You don't have to make a big announcement about doing any of these things or not doing these things. You choose to share based off of the level of testimony service you're trying to have with yourself. I don't know who we think we're impressing by telling them what we haven't done, but just keep people out your business, okay? Live your life and do what you feel is right, all right? So you can live with yourself in peace and joy and happiness. That's it. That's my take on this subject. That's my 2 cents, okay? That's part 2. And my 2 cents for you. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, any questions, or need any resources, you can drop down in the comments below and let me know. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it and love you. I would love to welcome you into the 2 cents community. Come on, you got enough for $1 now. Come on over here, y'all. Come on, there you go. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good day. See y'all. Bye.